All right, hello families. It's so good to be with you tonight, even though it is through technology. I'm so thankful that we live in a time where we can do this and have access to this. So I want to thank you for being here tonight. I also want to thank you for this year, and I want to thank you for all of your support and your encouragement this year, from the very beginning before school started all the way up until today. And I know this year hasn't gone the way that we thought that it would or hoped that it would, but you all have done a great job at partnering with me to help me raise up learners this end of this year. So I just want to thank you for that. Thank you for your help with parties this year, whether coming or sending things in. Thank you for helping with homework. Thank you for supporting things that happen in the classroom. Just all the different ways that you've come alongside me this year and helped me and encouraged me and prayed for me. I am forever grateful for that. As I think back over this year, I kept thinking about two different passages that came to mind, and so I'm going to read those real quick and just talk a little bit about that. So one that kept coming to mind was Habakkuk 3:17 through 19, and it says, "Though the fig tree should not blossom, nor fruit be on the vines, the produce of the olive fail, and the fields yield no food. The flock be cut off from the fold, and there be no herd in the stalls. Yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will take joy in the God of my salvation. God the Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like the deer's. He makes me tread on my high places." And I had come across that earlier this year, like early in the winter, just through a season of life that I was going through. And I just kept thinking, like, I can change the things that I'm going through and put them in this verse and say, like, even though, like, we didn't get to finish school the way we wanted, and even though we didn't get to be together every day, and even though class didn't look like it was supposed to, yet we can still rejoice in the time that we did have, and we can rejoice in what the Lord is doing. And that was just an encouragement to my heart over this time that we've been at home apart from one another. And also in Joel 2, 25 through 26, "I will restore to you the years that the swarming locusts have eaten, the hopper, the destroyer, and the cutter, by a great army which I sent among you. You shall eat in plenty and be satisfied, and praise the name of the Lord your God, who has dealt wondrously with you, and my people shall never be put to shame again. You shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and there is no one else, and my people shall never again be put to shame." And for that, I thought, like, even though, like, our days that we see as normal have been taken away, like, the locusts have eaten those, and we don't have what we're used to normally having, like, the Lord is going to redeem that. And I think that for school, like, I think, a lot of us are worried about going into school next year, and are our kids ready, and are they prepared? And I truly believe that the Lord is going to redeem what was lost, and he can make much of what we've done at home. And I truly believe that. I believe that he is going to prove himself to be faithful to us as we start school next year, and that he can do great things in that. So I just want to encourage you with those two things as we look back on this season that we've been in and the season that we're going to enter into next year, that the Lord is before us, and he's hemming us in, and he has this, and we can trust him to be faithful through all of it. And so I'm going to pray, and then we're going to get started with our awards. All right, dear Jesus, we thank you for this year. God, we thank you that you had picked us and ordained us to be together, Lord, that you and your sovereignty saw that we needed each other this year. And God, you put us together to care for one another and to pray for one another and encourage one another and learn from one another, God. And so we're grateful for that. Lord, we're thankful for your faithfulness to us, of how you just equipped us to do things that we never thought we could do. I never thought I could teach over a computer, Lord, but you equipped me to do what you called me to do, just like you did with all these moms and dads. You equipped them to be homeschool teachers, Lord, and so we are grateful and thankful for your kindness to us and your faithfulness to us. And God, we are thankful for all the memories that you've given us of this year. God, I pray that we look back and we see the goodness in all of this, because you are good and you are doing things for our good and for your glory. And so I pray that we can find those good things in this season, Lord. God, I thank you for Jesus and the work that he did on our behalf on the cross to redeem us and restore us to him. God, I pray that we all have a personal relationship with him. I pray that we all admit that he is the Lord of our lives and we turn our days over to him and let him do as he sees fit with open hands. And so, God, we thank you for this past season to be together. God, I pray for my students as they move forward, God, that you continue to help them want to learn and to grow. God, that you help them to know more about you, that you draw them unto yourself, Lord, and that you will always be the most important thing to them, and that you would be the thing that they treasure above everything else in this earth. And so, God, we thank you for tonight, and it's in your name that we pray. Amen. Okay, so now we are going to get to awards. So how I do it in here is I have your award that I will give you, and I also have a little gift that goes along with your award. And so I will tell you what your award is, and then I'll show you the little item that I got to go with it, and I'll kind of tell you why I picked that for you, okay? So there's no alphabetical order. It's just however it happens. So you'll just have to watch and see when your turn is. You can't like fast forward because you don't know when it's going to happen. All right, so the first award I have is for Emma Lambert. So Emma Lambert is going to receive the Butterfly Award. And the reason that I picked this award for Emma, and I think she would be fine with me telling you this because she has stood up in front of the class right up here and told all the boys and girls this story. But at the beginning of the year, Emma had a really hard time going and eating. And it was super hard for her to do that. And it wasn't like overnight things became easier for her. It was a process. It was a process of growth, and it was a process of trust. And Emma worked really hard this year to overcome that, and she did. By the time we got further along in the year, Emma was eating all of her lunch and wanting more, and she was buying lunch through the lunch line, and she was so proud of the progress that she had made. And so as I thought back about this year with her, I thought, you know, she's been like a butterfly. Like, she started one way, and over the year, over a process, like, it didn't happen overnight, and it wasn't always easy, and sometimes it took a little bit longer in different phases, but she made it, and she did hard things. And so, Emma, my prayer for you is that you will remember this season as you move forward, that you'll remember this hard thing that you overcame with trust in me and trust in the Lord, and knowing that people around you are for you and they are rooting for you and that they are on your team. And I pray that as you go into second grade, like, we're going to start all over, and we've been away from school for a long time, so it would be really easy to come back and struggle with the same things. And so I just pray that you can remember that with Jesus, like, you can do hard things just like you did this year. And so next year, like, I want to encourage you to pray as school starts and ask the Lord to help you, and that he would encourage you, and that he would help you do the hard things that he's called you to. And so, Emma, your gift is a pair of butterfly wings. So these will be in your bag when you come to pick it up, and when you play with them or when you wear them, I want you to think about how you can do hard things, and that you are strong, and that Jesus is always with you. So Emma, you receive the Butterfly Award. Let me move this here. Down. All right, next is Madeline Vanderberry. Let me get all my stuff together first. All right, here they are. Okay. All right, so Madeline, when I think about Madeline, I think about her compassion. So Madeline is receiving the Compassionate Heart Award. And when I think about Madeline, I think about any time anybody is hurt, like physically, or like their feelings are hurt, Madeline is the first one that's right there, and she is so sincere in making sure that they're okay. She wants to know that they're okay. She's worried about them. She wants to care for them well, and I just think that is such a rare and special quality that Madeline has. And so my prayer for her is that she will continue to have compassion for people. I think about the Samaritan, and I think about the compassion that was shown there, and I see Madeline in that story. Like, there's nobody that Madeline wouldn't show compassion to, and that Madeline wouldn't go out of her way to help. And so, Madeline, for your award gift today, I got you a pack of Band-Aids, okay? Because everybody that shows compassion needs Band-Aids, because you're probably going to help people that have fallen. And so here are Band-Aids, and I also got these because they're cupcakes, and they're fun, and they're happy, and they're joyful, and that's you, Madeline. You bring so much joy to our class as you care for other people. So I want you to, whenever you use these Band-Aids or whenever you see this award, to remember that to stay compassionate and to care for other people and to love them well, because that is how we can show other people Jesus, is by how we love them. So Madeline, you get the Compassionate Heart Award. All right, next is Harper Seaford. So when I think about Harper, I think about her gentle spirit. And, you know, sometimes gentle spirits can kind of be overlooked or can kind of be asked to toughen up or to be stronger, but there is such beauty in a gentle spirit. And I think about like me raising my girls, and I hope that my girls have a gentle spirit, because the Lord can work with a gentle spirit. And so Harper, your award is the Gentle Spirit Award. And when I think about this and you, I think about how having conversations with you are just filled with such gentleness and such sweetness, and how you interact with other people, and how you relate to others, and how you're friends with others, and how you do your work. Everything that you do is filled with such gentleness, and the Lord can use that. The Lord is looking for people who have soft hearts, that are willing to hear Him and do what He says and love other people well and serve Him just quietly. Sometimes people want to be in the front and be loud and draw attention to themselves, but the Lord often works with those who are just quiet and want to serve Him humbly without any recognition or any awards going to them, but so that the Lord can get all the fame and the glory. So Harper, for your gentle spirit gift, I have a pack of perler beads that make these bracelets. And so I got these because you have to be really gentle with these beads, because if you are rough with them, like, they're all gonna fall apart and it won't end up with a project. So these beads, whenever you wear or make these bracelets, I want you to think that like being gentle is good, and being gentle is something that the Lord can work with, and it's how He's made you and created you, and it's a part of God's character. And so I want you to think about that every time you wear your bracelets. All right, Sophia Smith. Let me find you. Oh, there they are. Okay. All right, Sophia, one thing that I thought about you as I think back about the year is every night when we would have homework, you would always do above and beyond what was expected. Like, you would do your regular work, but you would also do more than. And I think that is such a good quality, because as you grow up and get older, like, being good at anything requires extra work. You don't become a good baseball player by just doing the minimum, or you don't become a good dancer by just going to your dance class. You become good at all of these things because you practice them more than you're supposed to. You don't become a deeper follower of Jesus by just going to church. Like, you have to spend time with Him, and you have to read the Bible, and you have to pray. And so, Sophia, you're getting the Homework Hero Award because you always just did your very best every night on your homework, and you did it neatly, and you did it with a good attitude, and you did it knowing that it was going to serve you and help you to be a better student. So you are getting the Homework Award, and I pray that as you go into next year and in the future, that you remember that some things that we want in life are not always going to be easy, and they're going to take extra work, and they're going to take more than just the minimum to get by. And I pray that you have endurance and that you have perseverance, all of which come from the Lord, and that you would pray to Him and ask you to continue to help you to always give your very best, knowing that you're not working for your mom or for me or your dad, but you're really working for the Lord, and that He always wants our very best. So, Sophia, I got you a pair of Flash socks that you can wear, because Flash was a hero. And so whenever you wear these socks, I want you to think like, I'm a hero. Like, I can do hard things, and I can do them well all the way to the end. So, Sophia, you get the Homework Award. All right, Gabe Allen. All right, Gabe. When I think about you, I think about all year, you have just been a superstar in math. Like, you, no matter what math concept that we've started, like from the beginning, like day one, like, you have understood it, and you have done very well in it, and you are, that's a strength of yours. And so you are going to receive the Math Award. And I think this award is so important because like, God is a God of order, and God does things like purposefully, and there's a rhyme and a reason to the way that He does that. And I think we can see that in math, and I think we see part of God's character in how math things work by systems and numbers. And I just want to encourage you to like continue to do your very best. Like, math is something that you're good at. So I'm praying that the Lord can continue to like help you do well in math classes. And you never know, like that could lead you to the career that the Lord has for you, like because you are very gifted with numbers and with systems and with functions. And so I pray that you would continue to work hard in that area. I pray that the Lord would use that with whatever he has for you in your life to come. I pray that seeing how well you do in math, that it would encourage you in all areas of your schoolwork to know that like I can do hard things and like I can get things done and I am a good student and I can do things well. And so I pray that your heart knows that and that you feel that moving on into second grade and every year after that. So for your word, Gabe, you are getting a calculator. So you get this big desktop calculator, and so you can practice all kinds of number things on here. When I was a little girl, I would have loved to have a calculator because I love to play store. So maybe you can play store with your calculator. But as you play with this or when you use it, I just want you to remember that like you are really good at math, and being good at math and knowing how numbers and systems work together, that's a part of God's character too, of order, and that you just continue to strive to be even better at math. All right, Beckley. Beckley, you are my next award winner. And Beckley, your award is the Joy Award. I keep forgetting to turn these around sometimes, so I'm sorry. All right, so Beckley, you get the Joy Award. And so when I think about you coming in and you are so full of life and laughter and fun. And anytime you're around, like everybody's laughing and just your laugh and your giggle, like all of that brings such joy into our classroom. And so, Beckley, I just pray that you would continue to have this spirit. Like, it's so easy to get that squashed as you get older because people want you to act a certain way and be a certain way and do a certain thing. And yeah, we do have to like be in the parameters of whatever situation we're in, but I don't want that to stifle the spirit that the Lord has given you. He has given you a spirit that brings life to people and that brings happiness, and the world needs that. The world needs more joy. Like I know I need more joy. So being around you, like it just encourages me when I'm with you during the day. And so I just pray that you continue to let the joy of the Lord be your strength, but also for you to continue to bring joy to other people. And so, Beckley, I have for you this puzzle that first you have to put together, but once you put it together, it's a silly farm. So there are several things on this picture that are silly, and you have to find them once you put the puzzle together. So I pray that when you look at this puzzle or when you do it, that you can remember that you bring joy and that you bring happiness to the people around you, and that I just pray that you continue to share that with other people. All right, Caleb, you, when I think about you, I think about how you are just constantly good with whoever I might put you with a partner. Like it doesn't matter which partner I give you, you work well with them and you get your work done and you're kind to them. And so you are getting the Good Friend Award because you just always are a good friend to everybody. Like there's never a situation that I can look back at the year where I've had to talk to your group or your partner, or I've had to come in and intervene and kind of like split things up. Like you just are able to get along with people and you find the goodness in other people and you're patient with other people. And that is such a gift that you have. And so I pray that moving forward that you continue to find the good in other people. Like as you get older, sometimes that gets harder. And people might start irritating you a little bit more. And so I just pray that you will always look for the good in other people, that everybody has strengths, everybody has things about them that God has made in order to bring him glory and to show us a little bit more about his character. And so I pray that you can find those and that you can speak those to other people, that you can encourage other people to include people into relationship, and that you can just continue to be a good friend with whoever the Lord places in your life, starting with your brother at home all the way to people that you meet in the classroom. So your gift today is a little racket set, so you can play with a friend. So you can either play with a ball or you can play with a wiffle. Is that a wiffle ball? I don't know. Miss Burton's here. I'm trying to ask her what these things are. Anyway, you and a friend can play. And while you're doing this, I have no doubt that you would be a good friend while you're playing, because that's just who you are. And so, Caleb, you get the Good Friend Award. All right, Wyatt Barefoot. All right, Wyatt, when I think about you, I think about your love for nature. I think of how you care about nature, that you love nature. Even on the playground, you're finding things, you're saving things, you're rescuing things, you're making things. You just love being outdoors. And so I have given you the Animal Care Expert Award because you just love God's creation. And I admire that because I'm somebody who is like super scared of most of the things that God has created outside, especially things that slither and like things like that. And just I'm admired by how much you care for them. And yeah, I'm really encouraged by that. And so when I think about you and when I pray for you, I pray that you continue to like love the things that the Lord cares about. Like the Lord cares about all of his creation. Like he made it, he cares for it, he values it. And I pray that you continue to do that as you get older. I pray that you continue to enjoy being out in nature. Like the older I've gotten, I've realized that I can see God so much outside. And I didn't realize that when I was younger. And now being outside and hearing the birds and seeing the trees lose their leaves and flowers begin to bloom, like so much of God is revealed outside. And I pray that you continue to long to be out there and that you can point other people to God's, just his faithfulness and his creativity and his care as you spend time outside and you draw others into like the world that you love. And so Wyatt, I have gotten you this little bug magnifying kit. So you have this little kit you can collect your little creatures in. They can even breathe up top and you can see them through a magnifying glass. So as you're outside caring for animals, you can maybe collect some little bugs and stuff in here and look at them and enjoy them. So I just pray, right, that Wyatt, that you continue to just love connecting with the Lord outside and with his creation. All right, next is Ryla. So Ryla, when I think about you, I think of one conversation that we had in the winter, and I remember you being at my desk and we were talking through something and you just said, you know, I'm going to do the right thing. Even if they get mad at me, like I'm going to tell the truth because that's what you're supposed to do. And that really stuck with me because that is super hard, like for an adult to do. And it's even harder for kids to do because you want everybody to be friends with you and you want to make people happy. But I am giving you the Integrity Award because I just thought that that was so just, when you said that, like it just meant so much to me that at a young age you care about integrity, which is doing the right thing even when nobody's watching. And I think that's true about you, Ryla. Like whether it's at the bathroom or whether you're at a center or you were at your desk, like you always were wanting to do the right thing, even if I wasn't standing over you. You knew the expectations and you wanted to do the right thing. And Ryla, as you like grow up, that becomes even harder to do. It becomes even harder as you know more. But I pray that the Lord would keep your heart soft to integrity, that you would want to honor people around you, but mostly honor the Lord by being truthful to what you know is true, even when nobody's watching. Like the words that you say, the things that you watch on TV, the places you go, the things that you do. Like having integrity is doing the right thing, even if nobody's ever going to know that you've done it. And so I pray that you continue to have a soft heart to the things of the Lord, the things that honor him. But I also pray that you would have the strength to share that integrity with other people. Like you're going to come in contact with people who may not want you to have integrity, that may say, oh, it's okay, nobody's going to know. And I want to pray that you are bold and that you are courageous and that you are strong enough to say, no, like I know this is not good, or I know this is right, and that you will do the right thing even when nobody's watching all the days of your life, because no matter where we go or what we do, the Lord is always watching and he is the one that really matters. And so for the Integrity Award, Ryla, I have gotten you this compact mirror and comb so you can brush your hair, but you can also look in the mirror. And every time you look in the mirror, I want you to think like, I want to do the right thing, even when nobody's watching. And maybe this can be a little reminder that I see the integrity in you, and integrity is super important as you grow. And I pray that that remains with you as you get older. All right, Rivers Leonard. So when I think about you, I think about how you are always wanting to do the right thing. You're wanting to know what the rules are and you're wanting to follow them, and you want other people to follow them, and you see value in rules and you see the importance of having rules. And so I am giving you the Rule Follower Award. And about that. So I think that you do a great job at following the rules and knowing what they are, but I also want to talk to you a little bit about grace, because like right now, it's kind of easy sometimes to know what the rules are in class. Like the rules are super easy. Like, you can't talk in line at the bathroom, or like when you're working with a partner, you have to be quiet. Like all of those things that are kind of easy. But as you get older, sometimes it's harder to follow the rules. And we get hard on ourselves when we don't. So sometimes if we know the rule and we don't follow it, we can kind of beat ourselves up and make ourselves feel bad because we didn't keep a rule. But this is the beauty of all of this, is that Jesus knew that we couldn't follow the rules, Rivers, and he knew that like we were going to mess up. And that's why he sent Jesus, is so that when we mess up, like we can say like, I broke that rule, and like know that God will forgive us if we come to him, but also that we don't feel shame and that we don't feel yuckiness from breaking the rules. Like sometimes it just happens and we don't mean for it to happen, but it does. And we feel bad and we just want to hide, when really God just wants to forgive us when we break those rules. So I want to encourage you to always want to do what's right. Like that is such a gift, to want to do what's right and to care about what is right and to care about what's right for everybody around you. But at the same time that you're following those rules, I want you to be gracious to yourself, and I want you to know that like you're going to mess up and it's going to be okay. Like Jesus loves you, he cares for you, he died for you, and that there is grace to cover any mistake that you make. And so for your Rule Follower Award today, I have this pack of Bestie bracelets. So you can make a set of bracelets for you and a bestie. And I got this for you for rule followers, because if you do not follow the rules for making this bracelet, it will not end up to be a bracelet. So you have to follow the rules in order to get the right outcome. And so just remember, following the rules is super good and super important, but like there's always grace that abounds even when we mess up following the rules. All right, Rosalie. So Rosalie, you came from another school last year, and you came new this year, and you would never know that this was not where you had been before. Like you came in with such courage, and you just came in the first day and like you were one of us. And that has to be, you have to be strong to do that. You have to be strong to come into a new situation. And so you are getting the Courage Award. I don't know if I already said that, but you're getting the Courage Award because you just came in like you had such courage. You came in and you were brave and you were strong, and you have done hard things this year. And when I think about courage for you too, I also think about just how soft-spoken you are and how quiet you are. And it takes courage for you to speak up and to share your ideas and to share what you're thinking. And you have so many good ideas, and you have so many great things to share with the people around you. And so I want to encourage you like to speak up, to share what you're thinking, to share what you're learning, because God is teaching you things that he wants you to share with other people, that other people may need to know. Like he gives us, like there's a passage that talks about like he gives us comfort so we can comfort other people. So whenever you're learning something, or when you've had to have courage, like you can share that with somebody maybe new next year when they're coming in and they don't know anybody. You can say like, I was new here last year and I can be your friend through this. And so I pray that you have courage as you move forward in the things that the Lord has for you. And so your gift today is a book called The Golden Microphone. And so in this book, this girl, she has to have courage to do something that she wants to do. So whenever you read this book, I want you to think that like you've done hard things, you've had courage, and I want to encourage you to share that with other people that you see that may need a little bit of encouragement, that you could speak life and speak truth to them and help them whenever they need to be encouraged. All right, Avon, you, when I think about you, I just think about your kind heart. And so you are getting the Kind-Hearted Award. And I think about just conversations, like if I have to have a conversation with you, or Miss Burton does, or if you're in another group, just the way that you talk to other people and the way that you articulate yourself and the words that you use just show a heart of kindness and compassion for other people. And so I think about situations you've had in the classroom where we're working with groups, or like when we're playing a game and things don't work out right, and we talk about those. Like you're the first one to give kind comments to other people, or to give kind encouragement, or you are able to speak kindness to other people to encourage them. And so I just want to pray that as you go into second grade and you continue to do what the Lord has for you, that you would look to show kindness to others. That's a fruit of the Spirit. And so I pray that the Spirit would enable you to to be kind to others, and sometimes that's hard. Sometimes we're asked to show kindness when we, in our sin and our flesh, like we don't think people deserve it, but we're called to love like Jesus and to be like Jesus. So I pray in those times that you will be able to display kindness even when it's hard. I pray that you will encourage other people to show kindness when it's hard, and that kindness, like in the Bible, it talks about kindness is what the Lord uses to bring us to repentance. And so as you're kind with other people, like you may not have to say a lot at first about the gospel and about Jesus, but as you interact with other people in kindness, like they can say, you know, there's something different about Avon. Like he's different. Like what is it? And as they see your kind heart, like your kindness can lead you to words of the gospel that can bring people to repentance. And so I just pray that you continue to have a kind heart as your days unfold. And so today, Avon, I have you this little, I think it's from the Emoji Movie maybe, but it's a little high five. And so I just want to give you a high five and remind you to just keep being kind. So whenever you're like, I don't know, like, I'm not sure I want to be kind in this situation, I want you to see this little high five guy and be reminded that Miss Ann's is like giving you a high five saying like, you can do it. You can be kind even when it might be hard. All right, Lily. So Lily, when I think about you, I think about your tender heart. And your heart is so tender for things of the Lord, and it's so tender towards other people. It's tender towards doing the right thing. Like your heart is just soft and tender. And so I am giving you the Sensitive Heart Award. And I want to encourage you in that, because sometimes having a sensitive heart or being sensitive can be looked down upon, because people want people these days to be tough and to be strong all the time. But we can read in the Bible where Jesus wept, and his heart was broken about things. So being sensitive is really something I think the Lord wants of us. He wants our heart to be tender to the things of him and the things that break his. And so things in the world that aren't the way the Lord would want them, like he wants people who feel the things that he feels. And so I pray that as you grow and as you learn more about the world and you learn more about the Lord, that your heart would stay sensitive to the things of him, that your heart would be broken for the things that break his, and that would lead you into action. That would lead you to care for other people well and to speak for the vulnerable. And for situations that other people may not see, your sensitive and tender heart can allow you to help these people where other people might not even notice. And so I pray that your heart would stay tender. I pray that people around you would foster that sensitive heart, and that they would encourage you to keep being soft to the things of the Lord, and that we would also be able to direct you in ways that you could use that in order to bring joy to others and to bring encouragement to others, but also to bring glory to the Lord. And so for you, Lily, I know at my house, one time that like I really need to be sensitive is when I brush my girls' hair. Like they do not like for me to be rough. I have to be very sensitive as I'm brushing their hair. So I have got you this hairbrush. So every time you brush your hair, I want you to think that like being sensitive is good, and being sensitive is of the Lord, and that's how he's made you, and that's how he's crafted you, and that he has a good plan in store for a heart like yours. All right, Nathaniel. So Nathaniel, I look back at the first day of this year into where we are now, and I just see such growth. And so you are getting the Amazing Growth Award, Nathaniel. And I look back at where we started our journey together and where we are now, and it is amazing to see how the Lord has come alongside you, and he has brought people into your life to help you and to encourage you. He has gifted you with knowledge, and you have learned so much, and you've been able to retain it. And you have just grown so much over our time together. And I am so grateful to the Lord for that. And I'm thankful in my own life that I've been able to see that and witness God's faithfulness. I've been able to witness your hard work and your perseverance and your steadfastness. Like you haven't given up. You haven't stopped working hard. You've had a great attitude about it. And so I pray that as you continue to grow up, like you're going to come across other things that are going to be hard, that you're going to have to grow in. And it's going to be a process, and you're going to have to learn. And there may be bumps where it knocks you down and you think that like, I can't do this. I want you to remember back to first grade, and I want you to remember like, yeah, I can do hard things. Like I learned so much in that year, and I was able to grow in some amazing ways, and people around me were encouraged by the growth that I displayed. And so for your gift, Nathaniel, I have got you this magic towel. And so this magic towel, whenever you put this in water, like it is going to grow and it's going to become a little towel that you can use when you're in the bath or in the swimming pool or something. But as you use this, oop, I dropped it. When you use this towel, I want you to remember, like, I have been able to do some great things with hard work and perseverance. And I want it to encourage you as you move forward in life to continue to do hard work, because it does pay off. All right, our next award goes to Cannon. And Cannon, when I think about you, I just think of you coming down the hallway every day with a smile, and like leaving every day with a smile too. And so you are getting the Cheerful Award. And when I think about you, I think about how like you're cheerful to everybody, like not just teachers, but you are cheerful to your classmates. You're cheerful to people that you just come in contact with. Like, it doesn't matter who you're around. Like, you are always offering them a smile that is genuine. Like, I feel like your spirit is a genuine, cheerful spirit. It's not something you're making yourself do or you're forcing it to happen. Like, you really just are a cheerful, joyful person. And I want to encourage you with that. Like, as you go into second grade and as you continue to grow up, like, I want you to look for ways that you can bring cheer to the people around you. Like, cheer means to encourage or to build up or to spur on. And so I pray that you can continue to look for opportunities to do that. And it doesn't have to be anything big. It can just be the way you acknowledge people and that you welcome them and you smile at them and you engage them in conversation and you laugh at their jokes and you listen to what they're saying. Like, you are just an enjoyable person to be around. And I pray that you can do that at your house as you're with your brother and your sister, that you can bring cheer into your family, that you can bring joy into your family. I pray that you just don't lose sight of that. It's so easy as you get older to kind of be overwhelmed with stuff of life, because life gets hard as you get older. And you just kind of get overwhelmed and you get tired and you get stressed out, and it's hard to be joyful sometimes. But I pray that the Lord would continue to cultivate that in you, and that not only that it would happen in your heart, but that you would be able to share that with other people to encourage them in whatever the Lord has them going through, because you have a gift of being able to cheer people up and to bring joy into their lives. And so, Cannon, for your end of the year gift, I have you this sunshine container. So every time you use this, you can think that like you bring such joy and cheer to the people that are around you. And I want you to encourage you to just keep on loving people the way that Jesus would. All right, Sharon. When I think about Sharon, I think about her smile. Like, when we're doing something, I can call on her and she just breaks into this smile and this little giggle, and it's so refreshing and so enjoyable. And so Sharon is getting the Sunshine Award. Sharon always brings such light into the room with her conversations, with the words that she says to other people, with her facial expressions, with her laugh. Like, she just makes everybody happy around her. And like, I know that happiness is situational and that joy is something that happens in the heart. And so I know that sometimes it's hard to be happy when things around you are hard. But Sharon does a good job of doing that for the people that are around her. They can be having a rough time at her table, or somebody can be having a rough day. And just Sharon's conversation with them and the light that she brings to the class and to conversations and the joy that she brings, like all of that together with her smile just brings such light into our classroom. And I think about just the light of the Lord and how he shines that in us to shine through us. And I just think of that when I think of Sharon. And so, Sharon, your award or your gift is a pair of sunglasses, because when you're out in the sun, you have to wear sunglasses. So whenever you wear these or have these, I want you to think that you bring such light to the people that are around you. And I pray that you can continue to bring the light of the Lord, that he continues to do a work in you so that it can go through you into other people, so that as you have relationships, you can share Jesus through your life and the experiences that he gives you. All right, Teague. All right, Teague. So when I was thinking about Teague, there were like two folds to Teague's award. So I am giving Teague, I'm going to tell him before, is the writing award. And the two parts to this is, one is that Teague always has really good handwriting. So no matter if it's something that is like a test or if it's something that's just for fun, no matter what the assignment is, Teague is always going to give his very best handwriting. It's always so neat and able to read, and yeah, you can just tell he puts a lot of pride in doing his work no matter what the assignment is. And so his handwriting is super great, but also his writing stories. Like, no matter when we started writing stories, like third quarter, every time we would have a story, like Teague always did such a great job with that. He did a good job of not just answering what I told him to do, but giving details to where I could either laugh in his story or I could like feel emotion when I would read what he would write. And I think that is such a gift as a writer, to be able to invoke emotion by a reader. And so those are the two reasons why I gave him that. But I want to encourage Teague. I got you, Teague. Let me give you this and then I'll talk some more. I got you this pack of mechanical pencils because every writer needs more pencils, and like everybody wants mechanical ones. So I want you, when you write, I want you to remember that like God has given you a story to tell. And whether you use it, Teague, in your words on paper or whether you use them like by spoken word, like he has given you a story and he has given you a testimony, and he's only going to continue as you walk with him to reveal more of his story to you in your life. And so I pray that you would share your story with other people. I pray that you would use your words to tell other people of God's faithfulness and his goodness. I pray that as you grow, that as the Lord changes you and sanctifies you, that you would use your words to tell people of his faithfulness to you and how the Lord has changed your life. And I pray that you never keep your story to yourself. Like, you have a good story that the Lord has given you that doesn't belong to anybody else. We all have our own stories. And your story can encourage somebody, or it can convict somebody, or it could draw somebody closer to the Lord. And so I just pray that as you grow and you continue to write, that you would use your words to bring glory to the Lord, but also to tell of his faithfulness and his goodness to you in your life. All right, Blake. So when I think about Blake, I think of creative. I think of like whenever we've had, sometimes in centers in the afternoon, we have like creative times where they can make things with blocks or make things with paper or, you know, whatever it might be, it's creative. And Blake is always one to imagine things that other people don't think of. And so Blake is getting the Imagineer Award. And like I said, when I was thinking about him, I would think, you know, in centers, like people would complete something and Blake would work on it for a really long time and then have something that was really amazing that nobody had thought of to use the materials that way. Or in blocks, he would spend a lot of time like being purposeful in how he would put things together, and there would be a rhyme and a reason to how he would build the Legos. And so he was always trying to imagine things and create things that were new. And so for this award, Blake, I have given you some modeling clay sticks so that you can imagine something and create something new. And as I think about that into the future, Blake, I just pray that you would continue to be open to what the Lord has for you. Sometimes the Lord asks us to do things that take a lot of imagining on our part. Like, you know, we'll say like, Lord, we'll do whatever you want us to do. But sometimes the Lord calls us to do things that we don't understand, or that take a lot of creativity on our part. Like I think of missionaries who have gone to other lands and they have not been able to do things the way that we do them here. They've had to be creative and they've had to imagine like how they can take what they want people to know, the gospel, and how they can imagine it and create it to be something that speaks to people in their native heart language or in their native culture. And so God, I pray that as you grow, Blake, that you would continue to see the Lord's creativity and how he has just imagined things and they've come to be, and that could inspire you to like seek his word and read and find out like how the Lord has been creative in making you and me and the things around us. But also like as you grow older, that you would look for ways to be creative and to imagine things differently so that you can share the gospel with other people, or that you could love people well. All right, and last but not least, we have Lainey Cochran. And when I think about Lainey, I think about hard work. So Lainey is getting the Hard Worker Award. And for Lainey, I think that no matter what the assignment was, whether it was a test, whether it was a report, whether it was a puzzle, no matter what it was, Lainey was always giving her very best work. She was always going to work hard no matter what it was. And that is so encouraging today, because today a lot of times we just want to get by. We just want to get enough done that we can finish. And with Lainey, she always wanted to work hard till the very end. And so I know that as she continues to grow and that as she goes to second grade and after that, like it's going to take hard work to do the things that are laid before her. And so I pray that her hard-working spirit would just be cultivated even more by the teachers that she has and the people in her life. But I also want to talk to her about how with hard work, like we're going to mess up sometimes too. And so I want, Lainey, for you to understand that you can give yourself grace and that the Lord has given that to us and he is going to be able to give it to you. And so there's going to be times where you mess up and there's going to be times where you don't do as good on something as you want to, because I know that you strive for excellence. But I want you to give yourself grace, and I want you to know that like the Lord is working through all that, the good and the bad and the things that we do well and the things that we struggle with. Like he's working through all of that. And even in our struggles, that's a good time for us to lean into Jesus and allow him to be our strength in that. So I just want to pray as you move forward that you keep doing hard work, that you keep giving your very best, because it sets you apart. But I also want to pray that as you give your hard work, that you know that like your identity is not wrapped up in your grades and like how you do on papers, but your identity is found in Jesus, and he sees you like through him. And as God looks on you, he sees you through Jesus. And if you have a relationship with him, then like you're looked at in forgiveness. And so I just pray that you will not be too hard on yourself and that you will give yourself grace as you walk through your life, Lainey. And so for your little gift, I have you a doctor's kit, because we know that doctors work super hard. And so in this, like you can play with your little animals. Maybe you could play vet or something, Lainey, and you could take care of them. But as you're playing with this, I want you to remember to be a hard worker, but also remember like I'm going to mess up sometimes and it's okay, because there's grace for that. All right, so there are our awards, boys and girls, and they will be in your bag when you come to school on Thursday for your draft through to turn in things and pick up things. And I just want you to know what a joy it has been for me to spend with you this year, that I have enjoyed being your teacher. I have enjoyed seeing you grow and seeing you learn, not just as students, but as believers in Christ and as friends and as kids. Like, I've just seen a lot of growth from everybody in different ways over the year, and I'm encouraged by that. I want to thank you for how you've helped me grow. Like every year, you guys think that you're coming and I'm teaching you, but every year you teach me more about myself, and you teach me more about being a teacher, and you teach me more about my relationship with the Lord. So I want to thank you for how you have helped me grow in my relationship with Jesus this year. And I want you to know that if you ever need anything, like same room, you can come down here and I will pray for you. I will care for you. I will do whatever you need. So if you need me, you know where to find me. And yeah, I just want to thank you for a great year, and I look forward to seeing you on Thursday at the drive-thru. Have a good evening.